Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the end of June. And more importantly, welcome to your Monday morning WZ coffee break. Hopefully, you guys are having a great start to your week. What I wanted to talk about today, just a couple simple things. Originally, I thought I might talk about the four kingdoms of Ireland, Irish geography, and more importantly, the whiskey tasting zones of Ireland. However, I decided to change, which leads me to today's topic, which happens to be about your ability to adapt. Adapt. What does it mean to adapt? A certain adaptation that we need to go through in the times that we're living in right now, both personally, professionally, etc. To adapt, according to Webster's dictionary, as I'm looking at it right here next to me, says to make fit, often by modification. So, how do you make fit by modification? Think about this. I live in Arizona, where mid-May the state opened. We are now having booming numbers with coronavirus, and of course, what happens is there's a need to adapt. And now there's even talk or rumor of planned closures again, and that sort of thing, and another shelter in place. Who knows if that's going to happen? But we have to have the ability to adapt in times like this. Just recently going back and rewatching Ozark. I love Marty Bird's ability to adapt with all the things that happen, during that series, and the things that happen to him, his family, and what he needs to do to overcome, to adapt, to improvise, etc. But can you adapt in the world that you're in today? And those that can adapt, whether it is as a business like WZ has been able to do and adapt, moving from, in person, flying out and doing training, to now doing virtual and being very effective at virtual training. I can think personally of how many times I've had to adapt my schedule. You know how many times I've looked at a trip to Kuwait, a trip to simply West Virginia, as clients continue to say, let's put it to next month, let's put it to next month, let's put it to next month. We've got to adapt. How about in the interview room? Your ability to adapt in the interview room. If you plan appropriately, what ends up happening is you get into that interview room and start the conversation. You realize your plan may not be accurate. We need to, once again, adapt on the fly. I've heard it said that the best plans are plans that can be changed. And imagine going into an interview room, as I have, having an idea of what someone's motive might be, what their fears may be, but immediately sitting down and a simple rapport building process, I end up realizing, wait, it's a different motive than the one that I had anticipated. So I have to adapt. The stories that I was planning on telling, the rationalizations that I was going to use to help show understanding, are probably not as effective as I thought that they might be. So it's time to adapt, right? And so I want you to really think about that. And can you move on the fly? Can you adapt? What have you done, which I'm sure it's a lot lately, to adapt in your personal life, in your professional life? And I want you to think about that interview room, and can you adapt there? How do you adapt and modify your plan so that they can fit your new needs, right? The last thing I want to leave you with in terms of your ability to adapt is, for the love of God, people, put your mask on, right? Even if you don't believe the hype, even if you think the numbers are skewed, even if you don't think you need to wear one, put one on for someone who does. And when you do, have the ability to adapt. I wear one, not for me, but I want to wear one more so for people like my dad, who has had some heart issues, had stents, has even respiratory issues. My dad believes the hype. For the love of God, put your mask on and think about the people around you that do believe it, and adapt for them, and be considerate to those around you. And again, I leave you today with just that request. Adapt in your personal life, in your professional life, in the interview room, and adapt for people around you from time to time. Also, one last thing. Let me see. Thanks for the notes here. Good to see people. Don't see any questions. Love Marty Bird. And again, thanks for tuning in today, guys. And I hope you got something that you could take away from today. But think about adapting in the interview room and your ability to be fluid, your ability to react to things that happen and adapt professionally and responsibly. One quick note here, just a reminder for those of you that aren't aware, NRF Protect has a live webinar tomorrow. It looks like it's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. The special preview for your pandemic playbook for those of you in the retail world, protecting your shoppers, employees, and products during the pandemic. And so that might be worth checking out. Again, NRF Protect tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic week. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to catching you on a future coffee break. And again, keep in touch. And as I always say, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, look after one another, and continue to wash those hands, wear those masks, and let's adapt together. You guys take care. You have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.